Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Elevate Podcast. On today's episode, I am very excited to give you a sneak peek inside of how I do my stylist training inside of the salon. I know training a new stylist can be very expensive, and I have found an effective and efficient way to train new team members inside of my salon. We bring in a lot of students, or I should say new stylists, right outside of beauty school. And I do a lot of in-house training, one, because I'm very passionate about it. And I like to bring in stylists and build them from the ground up, because then I know that they are trained and ready to go and already fit in with our culture and our standard. I do bring in a lot of other stylists too when it comes to bringing in new people, but I really do love training new stylists. I want to pull back the curtain and share exactly how we train our team members inside of the salon. Training is the heartbeat of your culture, and it's how we protect our standards inside of the salon, grow our stylists into competent professionals, and create consistency with our guest experience. If you've been listening to me for a while, you know how I talk about consistency and the importance of it creating a luxury experience to creating retention, and it really does build a solid foundation for your business. We built a program that balances structure and real-world practice, and it's not only elevating the skill of the team members coming in, but it's also saved us money in the salon while increasing our efficiency and profitability. So today I'm going to walk you through the 4 foundations of stylist success, the training flow we use, and how it's worked well for us. Okay, so we are going to go into my 4 foundations that I know create a successful stylist. That is your technical skill, that is your client experience, your social media and marketing, and most importantly, I believe that so many salon owners fall short in this area, and that is working on your team's mindset. Mindset is everything. It is what is going to keep somebody from growing in your salon. It is nothing else. So if you are not incorporating mindset into your stylist training, you're not going to see your ROI and a lot of people that walk through your door. Mindset is what is going to set the top stylist apart from the underperformer. So knowing how to coach your team through the mindset difficulties that they are going to have is truly what's going to create success for you. If you're a salon owner and you're like, I don't even know where to start, because it's confidence, it's working through fear, it's working through reactivity. These are all mindset shifts you need to make with your team. I've got you covered. We have a 12-week program that we utilize in my own salon. It is all digital, and I sell it for a ridiculously low price for other salon owners to utilize in their business so they can create success. And I sell it for such a low price because I know how valuable it is, and I know this is a huge pain point for so many salon owners. And my goal as a person who is putting themselves on the internet, putting themselves out there, is truly to help other salon owners and to shift our industry and to shift the new talent that's coming into our salons right now. And so many salon owners fall short in this area, or they're too busy and they don't have the time, or they don't know how to organize things. And that is why I share the program with all of you. When it comes to stylists in our salon, we just don't throw them behind the chair and hope that they figure it out. We do push them behind the chair right away. And I'm going to talk about the fear a lot of salon owners have about that, because obviously we don't want to be putting bad work out there, but there's a way that we actually position this in our salon that is beneficial for clients who are looking for a more price-conscious option, and a way for our stylists to get hands-on experience immediately and how they immediately start building their business. So first, we take them through what we call the 4 foundations of becoming a great stylist. These are, again, mindset, because technical skill without the right mindset does not lead to success. We coach them on growth, responsibility, resilience, and confidence. Technical skill. This is where we refine their cutting, their coloring, their extensions, styling, and everything in between. But we want consistency within our standard. And client experience. Y'all, People want value. They want an experience, and I see it all over TikTok where people aren't feeling they're getting the value for what they're spending. This is not something that they know. This is a learned skill that needs to be trained. You need to train them on this. And you as a salon owner need to know how to break it down, systemize, and structure it. Again, we do this for you inside of my 12-week program, which is $199. And it's 12 weeks worth of robust content. Literally, if you're struggling in this area, I highly recommend it. You greet a guest, how you handle consultations, how you problem solve. When something doesn't go perfectly, luxury isn't about looks alone. It's about service. And then finally, social media and marketing. I can't even tell you how many times I hear salon owners complain that their stylists do not do social media. And it is a part of the job now. Unless you're spending a ton of money on ads, unless you're spending a ton of money marketing for your team members, they're going to need to do social media to help build their books. People want to connect with a stylist, and that doesn't happen on accident. The more they put out there, the more relationships they're going to build online, the faster they are going to build. This also pushes them outside of their comfort zone. Doing social media builds resilience. Doing social media helps them work through doing scary things. The more we build our resilience, the faster they're going to book because the more risk they'll be willing to take. And being able to show up on social media also transfers to being able to talk to people when they are sitting in their chair. It's all about practice of verbiage. It's all about practice of gaining knowledge and building problem-solving skills, because we talk about those things on social media. And it's all about building their personal brand. If you have someone that wants to do their own thing someday, which most of them do, then you need to train them on social media to help push them in that direction. I know a lot of salon owners are like, oh, I don't want to hire somebody who's going to want to open a salon suite. No, I don't either. But the reality is that that is the goal of most people coming into the industry. Granted, now if they stay in your salon or not, that's going to depend on your leadership. It's going to depend on how your culture is. But it is a way to push them into the direction in order to get that started. And it's a way to motivate them to actually do the media needed. These 4 foundations are delivered through our online program. We have built a digital training hub where our stylists can learn, review, and track their progress. And this ensures that every single team member gets the same education, which creates, again, consistency. It saves me time repeating the same things over and over, the same conversations over and over. And it also shows me who is dedicated to their career. The people who want it dive into the program and consume the content. The people that don't are the ones that are not going to thrive in my salon. They just don't. My stylist, Maggie, and I talk about her all the time, dove in headfirst to our training program and consumed everything, and she was fully booked in 3 months. So the work they put in is the result that they're going to get, right? I don't care what industry you're in. If you're not going to do the work, you're not going to be successful, period. So having this program and offering it to your team is going to show you who's rising to the top and who's not. And to be honest, when we're bringing on new team members, and if they aren't rising to the top, you gotta let them go. There are so many foundations in salon ownership that are going to build your big structure, right? Your big structure. And I know so many salon owners hold on to team members for way too long because they have a hard time attracting stylists and hiring stylists. If you are having a hard time attracting stylists and hiring stylists, there is something wrong with your salon. You either have a bad reputation, you yourself do not have a good online presence, and you're doing something wrong in your business. period. If you're not attracting stylists to your business, you need to look within and you need to fix what is going on with you to attract stylists. I got 3 application submissions this week. I get application submissions all the time. And it's because of the way that I put myself personally out there on social media. If you are a salon owner and you are not showing who you are and showing face on social media, you're not going to attract team members. People probably they don't even know your salon exists. Again, because you're not putting yourself out there. You can't just post pretty pictures. You can't just, show your coffee and do basic things. Yes, those things help. You need to show face. You need to talk into the camera. You need to talk about your salon. You need to showcase your team. I interview my team all the time with my little microphone. They get annoyed, but it brings people into our business because people can get an idea of what it looks like to work for you. And that is what you need to do. That's a whole nother topic that I've talked about previously on another podcast. Okay, so we hire people. I do not hire anyone unless they are fully licensed. When I hire somebody that is a newly licensed stylist in my salon, they are not just shampooing. They are not folding towels. They are there to learn and work and to build their business. I'm not wasting my time. I already have enough overhead with my payroll on people that actually help grow my business, like my managers and my marketing director. It's not in my budget to pay somebody to sit around and fold towels and shampoo. Just doesn't work for me, okay? And my team likes to shampoo their own guests. Granted, we do not double book as of now. We will be switching that in the future. We will be strategically double booking in the future, I should say. And then possibly they will be handing their shampoo off. But my team likes to have control of the client experience. And we know that the shampoo, the toning, all of that also is part of a great client experience. So we do not hand that off to our assistants, okay? I'm going to break down what we do to make hiring new team members worth the budget, okay? First, I will say, anyone in your business, you need to ensure that they're making at least minimum wage, which essentially is what every single new stylist in my salon is making until they start generating revenue for me. Minimum wage, okay? So one of the ways that I do this is with assisted services. When I bring someone into my business, they get 1 day of assisted services, which is like they're assisting, where they are helping team members blow dry. They're helping team members apply touch-ups. They're helping team members with their extension services. They are only doing services in the salon that will make my top team members' day more efficient so that they can bring more clients in, which means more revenue. So they essentially are paying for themselves because my top team members are having a more efficient day, which allows them to generate more revenue. We also believe that new stylists learn best by doing, and working one-on-one with more established team members allow them to learn about formulation, allow them to learn about application. They get their hands in hair, and it allows them to work on their efficiency and to increase ideas of how to be efficient behind the chair. That's why we give them 1 day a week where they perform these assisted services along our senior stylists. It's a win-win. The stylist learns and practices while the salon increases productivity. Next, model days. 1 day assisting stylists, the other days they are taking clients. And I want to talk about how I do this. So after assisted services, we also incorporate model days. On these days, stylists take their own guests, paying models who cover the cost of product and minimum wage. Here's the key. We do not let them come into the salon without a guest in their schedule. If you are not bringing in money, you're not sitting around. They have to actively build and recruit their models. The salon also helps, and I'm going to go over how we do that. and we support them as a salon. I am here. My manager has their license. We're doing consultations with them. We're helping them formulate. We're going over technical like foil patterns and things like that because I'm not stuck behind the chair doing clients 40 hours a week. My role is to help my protege stylists work on their guests. I'm overseeing them, okay? And if you're a salon owner and you're like, I can't do that, I'm doing my clients, well, you need to drop a day and you need to focus a day on when your team members can come in and do models. Again, another part of the ecosystem that's very important. I have mentors in my salon. I also have a team leader. They get paid more and a higher commission because it is also their job and role to help the new girls with their models, with formulation, with questions, with technical. Again, we do not double book, so this allows for this to be possible, okay? Now, if you're somebody who does double book in your salon, which I get it, again, I think we might go back there, right? Then that might be a different case for you. Maybe you transition one of your top stylists, again, to take one day that they don't double book so that they can commit to helping your team members grow and build. It is always figure outable to figure out how to make this strategy work for your salon. So this builds hustle, it builds accountability, it builds real life business skills. It also starts to build their clientele. It also protects the salon financially because we're not eating the cost of their practice work. So they are a protege stylist in my salon. So this is another layer of our training. We integrate the protege stylist into our actual schedule. We open up their books so clients can choose them at a lower priced option. We have a lot of people right now who are looking for lower priced options. We have some people that will never choose a lower priced option. But to give clients the opportunity to experience all price points in your salon is an advantage to you. Now, next to their name in our booking system, it clearly states protege stylist. And we also take this a step further. On our salon intake form and our guest agreement, clients must sign off acknowledging that they are booking with a newly trained stylist. And this sets the expectations for the guest experience. It's in there that the service is going to take longer, that the stylist is not at the level yet to be charging full price, that the discounted rate is the trade-off for the higher expectation that a lot of clients have. This transparency is important because it's going to protect your salon. It empowers the client to make an informed choice, and it gives your proteges the chance to start building their clientele in real-world settings without compromising guest trust. Okay, another part of my program. We have classes every Monday. Again, I do not force my protege stylists to come. But if you aren't going to come, you're not going to be successful in my salon. If you have somebody that is not showing up in all the areas that they need to show up, you need to let them go. That's it. You need to let them go. These are deep dives into specific skills, foiling, blonding, cutting, extensions, stylings, you name it. Mondays are where stylists get extra coaching and polish their craft before they get to actually try the techniques on real clients. I will also add, if there is something that my protege stylists are not good at all, we do not open their online booking for the services they really suck at. So if I have a protege stylist that is not good at hair cutting, I'm not going to open their books until they put in the work to build their hair cutting. Again, what is your team doing on their own time? Because I can show you how to do something, I can't make you good at it. I cannot make you good at it if you're not going to practice on a mannequin, if you're not going to practice on your own, you're not going to work out at my salon. It's just not going to work. You're not going to grow. You're not going to be successful. I'm not going to hold on to somebody who is not going to do the work. Again, I'm willing to let go of anyone in my salon that isn't aligning with our culture and then isn't aligning with our standards. And I want to talk about hiring standards. One thing I want to emphasize is that we do not hire just anyone. Our training program is not about teaching someone the basic skills they should have learned in school, okay? That's just not how it works. It's about refining, aligning, and elevating their skills to our salon standard. So really make sure you're looking at somebody's social media, because if they're not showing up on social media while they're in school, they're not going to do it while they're in your salon. And if you can't see their work, then how are you going to know where their level is when you bring them into the salon? I think too many salon owners are too quick to hire. You need to be picky. And I think that's another reason. If it's not hard to work at your salon, if you hire anyone, it's not a challenge. It's not exclusive. You want your salon to be exclusive. You don't want to be a salon that just hires anyone, because it's not cool to work for you then. You want it to be cool to work for you. And it's like, oh, well, I got a job at Opulent. Status thing. And people, especially in this day and age, status is important. It's important on social media. Influencer culture is not as predominant, but it's still there. So if you do not have a place that it is a challenge to work for or has limited spots, it's going to be very hard to attract team members. You want to be exclusive. Let's talk results. And let's talk about why this works. One, it saves us money because we're not giving away services and products for free. It creates efficiency because assisted services shorten the stylist service time. And it builds responsibility because stylists learn to bring in their own models, which helps them start to build a clientele. And it gives clients a choice by offering a lower priced option for those people who have a budget. And this is clearly communicated and consented to. It elevates our guest experience because everyone is trained consistently across mindset, technical, client experience, and marketing across the board. And here is the big one. It creates a culture of growth. You want people who have a growth mindset in your business. This weeds out the people who do not. Our team knows they're never done learning, and they have the structure and support to grow quickly if they do the work. So if you're a salon owner listening, I hope this episode gave you the framework to rethink how you train your team. Training doesn't have to drain your resources. And in fact, you have to build the right system that works for you. And it can actually make you more money, strengthen your culture, and set the salon apart. And if you're a stylist, I want you to hear this. The salons that invest in structured training care about your long-term growth, not just filling a chair. Seek that out and you will thrive. Thanks for tuning in, and I will catch you on next week's episode.